a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
The bits.
Welcome to The Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds,
Robert.
and Charlie.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Robert.
I got my buddy's book here, and I think we should read it.
Wow, I do think we should read your buddy's book.
I think, you know what? I think instead of reading Buddy's book, we should watch it instead, because it's season 4, episode 3 of Steven Universe, which premiered August 18th, 2016. Is that Percy's birthday, or am I tweaking?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, what wonderful. I'm like, wait a minute, what?
It's Percy's birthday, and it's also the day before my birthday.
Gasp.
Yay.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Robert.
Before we begin recording the podcast today, did the postman bring us any post?
Hey, Mr. Postman, bring me the post. Bring me the post I love the most.
Gasp.
We have another email from Inhai, our good friend, who emails us quite often. I say, "Hi, Charlie and Robert. The spring has arrived. Are you enjoying the warm weather? I hope you haven't caught the flu." I'm literally recording this as I have a fever today. This is wonderful. The question for April is, what is your favorite character in Steven Universe? And why are they your favorite? Thanks so much for everything. See you next month and stay healthy. I'm dying. I'm literally dying, my dude.
I literally woke up from a nap today and I'm like, am I dying? Am I getting sick? Is this what happened? My nose feels stuffy. I have like a slight lump in my chest. I'm like, oh cool, I'm dying. But we'll figure that out later. My favorite character is always Peridot. I love little autistic Dorito gremlin.
I don't know what to say other than Peridot. Like, Peridot has always been my little bean. Peridot. Peridot is everything. We're both Peridot stans.
True.
And why? Because autism is cool.
Being a green Dorito is also cool.
This is true. That's just a little gremlin, and I'm also a little gremlin. So I just relate.
If I'm a little gremlin and you're a little gremlin, who's locked in?
Who's what?
Who's locked in?
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say who's flying the plane.
If I'm locked in, if I'm a gremlin and you're a gremlin, who's flying the plane?
Hey, don't know.
Oh my god, Charlie. It's the second tower.
So we should go to the library now, Robert, because that's where Steven and Connie are going to.
They warp to the Budwick Public Library. Before they head inside, Connie compliments Lion's parking. It's a little crooked, according to Steven.
You don't tell Lion that they're crooked. You cannot tell Lion that he parked crooked. He's perfect.
Yeah. This is the first time ever that Steven's been to a library, and it has his favorite things.
Books! I do need to comment on the amazing joke here where Steven's like, oh yeah, Lion's just gonna wait here for us. Don't even worry about it. He's parked and everything. He even pats his butt to be like, boop, boop, I locked him up. And Lion
gets the fuck out of there.
Immediately leaves. Like, no, I'm not staying here.
He's out of there, my guy. He's fucking booked it. Every time I think about going to the library, or I see characters going to a library, or I hear my friends went to the library, I always think about the fucking song from Arthur, having fun isn't hard when you got a library card.
That is some good music for sure.
Much in the same vein of fuck fascism. Hey, go support your local library.
Exactly. Fuck fascism, but also support libraries. I should go to the library. I should also fuck fascism.
Hey, yo.
So, Steven also, of course, he's never been to a library. He does not know the rule of libraries because, he's like, what books? Amazing. Shh, Steven. Shh. there are people reading in here. Except I think there's only like the librarian and Nanafwa that I actually see in this library. Like there's no one else here.
Listen, even if there was only just librarian, you respect the sanctity of a library with the silence asked for.
So why are we here today? Connie wants to get a head start on 7th grade. Do we know what time of year it is? Are we assuming that it's like the summer in between?
It should be if she's getting a head start.
Yeah, that's my assumption, but I have no idea when we are at all. When was Steven's birthday again? I feel like it was that was season 4, season 2.
So unless we want to imply all of season 3 took place over like what, a couple weeks?
Yeah, or it's been a whole year. I don't know, man. I'm very confused at the timeline of the show.
Who's to say? But Connie, here to do research. Steven's like, why don't you look up, information on your phone? And Connie's like, the last time I did that, I wrote an erroneous paper about raccoons having heat vision. I don't know. I think raccoons have heat vision. That sounds plausible to me.
Yeah, exactly.
This was also like pre-Google AI Google, where like if you Google something now, chances are I have seen people who've been like, oh, how to Googling like, oh, how to are avocados gonna, I'm allergic to avocados, what can I eat? And the Google AI is like, you should eat avocados. It's like, no, stop that.
I miss pre-Google AI like so much. It was my favorite thing, and I loved asking Google questions. And now every time I'm just like, I hate my life. Every time I'm like, I need to know the answer to a question, and Google is not helpful. Sometimes it just restates the question, and I'm like, that's not what I'm asking.
It's really not. God, I hate AI. Fuck fascism, fuck AI. Anyway, Connie suggests to Steven to have a look around the library since, she's sure that there'll be something here that Steven likes. And Steven walks around and he'd look through all the books until he trips on a wheeled ottoman and begins writing it. He sees a book underneath one of the shelves and picks it up. He blows away the coat of dust. He notices the cover is blank, and Steven takes a look inside and sees various sketches of gem structures.
What? It's so wild. And he shows the book to Connie, and she's like, it's blank. And he's like, it's a journal. It's Buddy Budwick's journal. Remember that guy? You remember that guy. My entire theory on why like Jamie was included in this show like as early like as the Jamie falling for Garnet episode was so that we could get to here. We had to have, Jamie is really into drama, and then we had to have Jamie pretending or doing the play of Buddy and the first mayor, and then we had to get to here of Buddy's book, so that eventually we could get the fucking palanquin. This is me with my red string being like, it's all connected.
It's all connected. He runs back to Connie to show her, and Buddy Budwick's journal. Steven recalls Jamie recreated a scenario about Buddy Budwick helping Mayor Dewey discover Beach City, and so they can only imagine him as Jamie, even though we find out later that's not what he looks like.
Yeah, I mean, as they should. It's Jamie. There's no way that's not Jamie.
Buddy had helped to find Beach City with Captain William Dewey after they had escaped certain doom. And after Captain Dewey's legacy was cemented or bronzed, because they literally made him they made a bronze statue of him, Buddy is like, how would I be remembered? Buddy would fucking love Hamilton.
He sure would.
What if in this universe we, instead of making Hamilton, we make Buddy?
No, I think it's called Budwick.
Budwick, yes. And
it's a whole musical. They play it at Empire City. What's this universe's version? This universe's equivalent to Broadway. What do we call Broadway in this universe? That's what I want to know.
So, like, the thing is, Broadway, there's no specific name. It's just Broadway on New York City. So I'm trying to be like, okay, in Empire City, it would be...
It's got to be something like, just slightly to the left of Broadway, because it's Empire City instead of New York City.
I would just go something simple like Broad Street.
Yeah, Broad Street. So Buddy becomes an explorer, and he travels for many days and many nights to Norway. Did you know that the strawberry fields were in fucking Norway? I sure didn't.
I remember we were talking about where the strawberry fields are, and I don't think we ever came to a conclusion, but the conclusion is Norway, which is fucking weird.
According to this episode. So he finds this, and he's like, whoa, who could use these giant weapons? What kind of battle would have been fought here? And as he's trying to figure this out, the crystal gems show up, and Steven and Connie are like, wait, they can't be dressed like they normally are. So they have to have the old-timey outfits. Fucking love it.
Love that Garnet's spectacles don't cover her third eye. That's really funny to me.
So her third eye is actually always closed unless she specifically opens it, is what happens in the close-up. And also Pearl has like the fucking like the curls and the ponytail, and it's their outfits are ridiculous. They look ridiculous.
Buddy explains to them that he's on a quest to make a name for himself so he can get, his name on Broad Street. And he wants to explore the unexplored. Pearl makes several marks on his map being like, oh, well, you should not go here. These are very dangerous places. I'm marking them out for you. And he's like, wait a minute. So you're telling me only a really brave and adventurous explorer would go out? And she's like, I mean, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, Garnet's the one who's specifically like, only someone very brave and adventurous would go there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And Pearl's like, yeah, don't go there, okay? He goes there. He goes to, which one is it? The Sky Spire, where we have like the Heaven and Earth beetles. He goes to the Sea Spire, and he sees our buddies. Hey, he sees the fucking crystal shrimp. Yo, crystal shrimps.
R.I.P. to the boys, crystal shrimps. They're still dead.
Pour one out for the crystal shrimps.
They exploded.
He has different names for everything. So the Sea Spire is called the Steeple of Hubris, and the crystal shrimps are called Sparkling Slugs.
They're not sparkling slugs. They're crystal shrimp. Get their names right.
But he does call the Moon Goddess statue the Moon Goddess statue. And then we go to this random page. There's clearly nothing important here. It's not going to come up later. It's called the Palanquin. Steven doesn't know it, so we move along. He goes to the kindergarten. Oh my god. Wilds. And he's like, there's something off about this journey. I don't know. There's something not quite right here. And he's looking in the holes, and who turns up but Amethyst, also in her own old-timey outfit.
Yeah, dressed up like a soldier, I guess, from ye olden day. It's really funny for Amethyst or for anyone to be like, why are you looking at my hole?
Yeah, why are you looking at my hole?
Amethyst is back here, does she live with the crystal gems at this point? Presumably, yes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just comes back to visit, to like meet, catch up with the fam. She hugs a random rock. She's like, whoa, did you get taller?
This did happen after the whole like thing with the Buddy being the first mate. And at the very least, it was Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl who were there, so he has met all three of them before. When he meets Rose, I feel like it's implied he doesn't know her, but Amethyst is definitely with the crystal gems at least.
We are the crystal
germs. Also, I feel like Amethyst had short hair at this time, but I mean, this is Steven and Connie's interpretation of it, and they don't know what they actually look like. But I always thought that Amethyst had the short hair until later on. So Buddy explains that he's been traveling to make a name for himself, see all the things that no one else has ever seen before. And Amethyst is like, well, your map here is a list of places that all the gems have been to. That, like, Pearl, who is a gem, who literally made because she's been to these places.
Gasp.
And Buddy's like, fuck, I'm a tourist.
Which is really funny. Amethyst does help him, and she's like, okay, well, there is this place you can discover, like the Sandcastle. It's located in the arid environment known as the desert.
Yeah.
This sandcastle is constantly rebuilding itself, and it's never in the same place twice. And Buddy's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go discover it. So Buddy wanders around the desert for 10 days, and he's just dying. I'm like, my guy, bring some water, bring a fucking hat, bring shade. Like, oh my god.
What does he do? He keeps on his adventurer's coat because he has to have that on. He's like, if I don't wear this, somebody will think that I'm just like some dude and not clearly an adventurer, so I must die here in the desert. How did he make it 5 days in this coat? I'll never know. He should have died already after like day 1.
Yeah, but he didn't. He keels over from the heat. He's starting to fade into unconsciousness, and then as he does, he sees this figure approaching him, and he wakes up and he sees a giant woman standing in front of him with not 6 but 7 lions. I hate I hate and I love this fucking joke. That's not even a joke because it's,
Shut the
10
fuck
years
up.
ago.
I hate you.
He thought there were 6 lions, but actually there were 7.
No, he said several lions and then he said 7. So also Stephen and Connie were like, whoa, is this the end of it because he's dying here? And no, there was totally a bunch more of the story actually. But Rose never had any lions.
She had multiple.
What's going on here? What? Rose didn't have any lions?
She had 6 or 7.
Shut the fuck up. I will end this podcast today, here and now.
Buddy is like, okay, please don't eat me. And Rose is like, you're not going to be harmed. She's like, why the hell are you out here? And Buddy rambles an explanation until he gives Rose his journal with his entries. He questions how he can't find the sandcastle. And Rose is like, oh, you mean the one over there? And Buddy's excited before he's like, fuck, wait, no, you saw it first. It doesn't count.
And then he's like, well, I guess I failed at being an adventurer. Just kill me now. He puts his head in one of the lion's mouths. Remember when he was scared that they were going to eat him?
Now he just wants to die.
Now he's just like, death, come for me. Oh, boy, howdy.
Rose reassures Buddy and lets him know that while these places have been explored before, he has recorded them so intimately that it makes these explored areas look new and special. Rose asks Buddy, hey, you ever consider becoming an author? Which he does. He writes so many books that he could fill a library with them, which is how the Budwick Public Library exists today.
The Buddy Budwick Library. That's funny, though, that he's the one writing all the books, and then he makes a library to put his books out there.
I'm sorry that you didn't get your name on Broad Street, but at least you have a snazzy little library.
Sad. I think we should still make the Buddy Budwick musical.
Stephen and Connie realize, he left his mark on Beach City, and then they look up and they notice his picture frame, and he looks not like Jamie. So let's fix that. Let's make him look like Jamie.
Yep, their version was absolutely better. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Charlie.
Should we go to the Crystal Temple?
For some Crystal Temple trivia?
Yo! This is the second of 2 episodes in the series where Steven's name goes unsaid. What? The other being Greg the babysitter? What?
That's a notable thing to talk about. The Crystal Temple in Buddy Budwick's journal is a reused concept art drawing of the same location.
The Gem Battlefield and the Pyramid Temple are revealed to be located on the real-world Scandinavian peninsula.
Rose pokes at the 4th wall by looking into the camera while telling Buddy about how he wrote his journal.
One of Rose's lions had a heart-shaped nose while the rest had soft triangles, hinting this could possibly have been Lion prior to being revived by Rose.
Buddy claims to have been combing the desert for 10 days, but when talking to Rose, he says he had been combing the desert for weeks, which would be a minimum of 2 weeks, or 14 days.
And for cultural references, Amethyst is seen at the kindergarten wearing a 1890s Imperial Japanese cavalry uniform.
The 2 cars beside Lion resemble a 2006 Honda CR-V and a 1997 Mazda MPV. And now for Charlie's favorite section.
Continuity? The crystal gems forms during the 19th century, first seen in a painting in So Many Birthdays, reappear. However, Rose is not wearing the top seen in the painting.
The story presented in the journal is the post-voyage of the play in historical friction.
In the episode Rose's Scabbard, Pearl states that Rose never had a lion, but in this episode it shows that she did have many lions, but never told Pearl about them.
She had like 6 or 7. The librarian at the beginning of this episode is seen reading Passions of Zanzor, a book seen in maximum capacity, and Greg the babysitter.
Connie recalls Jamie's drama zone from Love Letters. Jamie, as Buddy, is also reimagined in the same study as in Love Letters, this time with the candles that his quill caught fire on put out.
Charlie, who are you giving your Pearl point to? I'm giving it to Amethyst, but Amethyst in this 1890s Imperial Japanese uniform.
I'm tempted to give it to the little ottoman that Steven rides around on, because, heck yeah, that's just such a cute little scene. I think that's my answer.
Very good.
Cute little ottoman in the library. And now for the question. Do you support your local library?
Yes, I support my local library. I have a library card.
I am bad.
Go get a library card, Charlie.
Yeah, I should do that. I should go to a library. I just don't go outside very often.
Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card.
All right. Well, this is clearly the last episode of the podcast because Robert has made me so mad forever and ever now.
6, 7.
I'm gone. I'm never coming back. This is it. This is the end. Fuck fascism.
And as always, Charlie, thank you for making a podcast with me.
Thank you. Sometimes, but not today.
And every podcast, we're perfect.
We wouldn't have the bits, for sure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You can follow this podcast socials at thebitssupod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our dime line through thebitssupod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/thebitsu. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about Steven Universe, or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Steven's Room, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with Steven in some way. No promises.
You can check out our merch store, The Bits SU, on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie, me, or if you cannot do that or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. It really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with Ray called Of the Eldest Gods, where we talk about the mythology book series by Rick Riordan, starting with Percy Jackson. I also co-host a podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo.
You can find me, Robert, at the Damn Meme page on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. If you want to hear more from me, check out my YouTube channel, also called the Damn Meme page, where I make videos mainly about Percy Jackson, but also sometimes other fun stuff. If you want to find me elsewhere in the podcast verse, you can also tune into my podcast, The Pit Crew, a show dedicated to dissecting the HBO Max medical drama, The Pit. The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Burn Before Reading, a podcast about literature, where your hosts, Christina and Leela, cringe about writing.
I'm Christina Kahn.
And I'm Leela Hilton,
And this is Burn Before Reading,
the podcast about shiterature.
We're here to examine the terrible writing we did when we were younger.
Like that school project you were really proud of.
Or that poem you wrote when you got dumped.
Well, how about that apology letter you wrote to your mom when you got into that fight?
Or the song you recorded before you knew how to write music.
Okay, don't at me. And we're here to talk about other cringy literary topics along the way.
Like the Library of Alexandria.
And Dewey Decimal.
His name was Melville Dewey.
Oh, well, do we want to get the clips rolling?
I don't think I ever recovered from this in terms of being cool.
Why did I say any of this?
I do like the drama.
So there is actually quite a bit to unpack here.
Oh, all this drama was so addictive as a teenager.
There's no punctuation to it. I'll start with that.
I actually have no memory of this.
There were so many lies that I was telling it.
It's not terrible.
No one really taught me how to write a good short story.
That was a journey.
Listen to Burn Before Reading
Every Wednesday, wherever pods are cast.
Deus Ex Media.